If your libertarian candidate's worse, which Chase Oliver is, that helps Trump with the non-insane wing of the Libertarian Party. Okay, let's talk about the Libertarian Convention. Why not? Okay. I think if you're a Trump supporter, the Libertarian Convention is good news for Trump. So I did see a good portion of Trump's comments. I do think that it shows Trump more of his 2016 form, that he went into a hostile environment where he knew he would be booed, but he still went in because he saw a potential benefit of trying to sway people his way. And I thought his pitch was pretty good. A lot of libertarians want Ross Ulbricht pardoned or commuted. I agree with that sentiment. He was the guy who did the Silk Road. If you don't know what the Silk Road was, it was sort of this libertarian marketplace that people did illegal stuff with, and he's looking at life in prison for that. I do think that he spent 10 years in jail. He's probably enough. He should probably be commuted at this point. There were also some other things, like Trump promised to put at least one libertarian into his cabinet. That's good. I hope it's Vivek. I think Vivek, for me, would be my choice for VP as far as getting things done. I don't know if it helps move him on the ticket as much as some other people may, but that's who I'm cheering for to be the VP. But I forget the name of the person that they ended up pointing out. Let me be fair to this person to begin with. What's the name of the Libertarian candidate? Someone will know in the chat. First off, there was a lot of misinformation going around about the person that they nominated. Chase Oliver, that's it. There was a lot of misinformation out there, including fake screenshots of what the positions were of Chase Oliver. And it's garbage. It really is. Now, there's enough not to like about Chase Oliver. Chase Oliver is a BLM activist, is a trans Storytime fan, is an open border supporter, actively cheered Trump being kicked off of Twitter at the time. Now, one thing people were giving Chase crap for was a post I saw that I actually didn't mind. Vivek's not brain dead. Vivek's probably what Trump could be, if Vivek's telling the truth. Now, the one argument I would make about Vivek is he could be a charlatan. He could just be blowing smoke up everyone's ass. But I think if you watch those debates, I think that Vivek actually had more policy prescriptions than almost anyone else on the stage. Trump's just more of a shoot by the hip. I'll point the right people. Trust me, things will get done. And he's saying things, but we saw how that worked out the first term, not the greatest. I think Vivek actually probably has the ability to push those things in a direction that was more towards what MAGA would want. But I digress. Amash can kiss my ass. I have a unique hatred for Justin Amash because Amash pushed for the impeachment trial of Trump and the investigations into Trump as a libertarian. And it was clearly one of the most farcical abuses of lawfare that this country's ever seen. And for a self-professed like small government person like Justin Amash, or third-party person, I think that's egregious. It's like a fiscal conservative voting for like huge, your big issue is we can't spend money, we can't spend money, we can't spend money. And then you voted for the Inflation Reduction Act. Why would I trust anything you say? That's not a bad point, though, Jebtan. To bring in a former adversary would be a good move, but he'll probably end up bringing in some garbage person that you like Nikki Haley is what he'll do, which is a huge mistake. If Trump appoints any establishment person, particularly as vice president, he will not make it to the end of his term. The establishment will make sure that he doesn't make it through there. Now, yeah, will Trump follow through with the issues? Who knows? Let's finish the libertarian talking point, and then we can move on. Trump actually won the Libertarian Convention, though, because the Chase Oliver character, for all the reasons that I discussed, is sort of the insane lefty, open borders, trans activist wing of the Libertarian Party, not the like Mises wing of the party, the Ron Paul wing of the party. It is not the same wing. And so now, if you're those libertarians, if you had anyone that you could remotely stomach as your candidate, you would say, I'm a person of principle. I'm not going to vote for Trump. He is not a libertarian. In fact, Trump, look at spending alone. Anyone who's telling you that Trump is a small government person is blowing smoke up your ass. Trump spent at a greater clip than Obama. And I'm sorry, as someone who's voting for Trump, as someone who volunteered for Trump's campaign in 2020, as someone who's defended the corruption against Trump, I'm not going to defend everything Trump did. If you were the type of person that was a Tea Party person under Obama saying that he spent too much money, but you were okay with the massive amount of spending that happened under Trump, maybe you're a little biased. So I understand libertarians being like, I ain't voting for Trump. I ain't. Or maybe they didn't like a lot of his COVID policies that they saw as pro-authoritarian government. Fair enough. But that only makes sense to me in a world where you have an alternative. And so you'd say, well, I'm going to support the libertarian candidate. But if your libertarian candidate's worse, which Chase Oliver is, I do think that helps Trump with the non-insane wing of the Libertarian Party. I think, and I would like to talk to someone like a Casimir. I don't think Casimir's American, or Fabian Liberty, that do consider themselves like ANCAPs. I assume they extremely dislike Chase Oliver. And at this point, if they had to cast their ballot for president, unless you're just voting for a even more obscure third party at this point, which is a possibility, I don't see, of the choices that you're offered, how you wouldn't choose Trump out of that. Is he anti-war? Maybe. I don't know. Now, I will say the one thing about Chase Oliver that maybe my fans won't like this, that there were people posting one of his COVID mask-related posts on X, and they were like, look at this guy. I did not find his post egregious at all. In fact, I completely understood it and supported his post. And if I remember, the gist of the post was this. Chase Oliver was like, showed a picture of his mask and was like, when I go to a place that mandates mask, I like to wear blah, 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 blah. I'm telling you right now, I wore masks all the time under COVID for two reasons. One, my job said I had to because I work in healthcare. But then again, I have to wear masks at other times with my job. That's just the nature of doing healthcare. And I'm not going to lose my job on some principle, to hell with this mask. Like, it was no big deal. And the other thing was, one of the, is absurd as all of the mask mandates and stuff were, and you won't find anyone who argued against them as vociferously as me. I also thought that there is a point, and this is something that I think of right wing sometimes, where you're being a prick just to be a prick. Right? If you walk into the Walmart and there's some $15 an hour employee that says, hey man, someone complains you have to put a mask on. It's state law. And you start screaming at this employee, you're kind of a jerk. You just say, okay, I'll take my business elsewhere, or you put the mask on. That's your two options. A private company, as far as I'm concerned, has the right to tell you, hey man, if you're going to be in here, you have to wear a mask. I'll just say, I'm not going to shop here if there's another game in town. That's what I would do. I'd say, okay, see ya. But I'm not going to yell at some minimum wage employee. And so that particular post that I saw a lot of people bagging on for Chase Oliver, I didn't necessarily disagree with. Now, maybe he had other posts where he was like, I support mask mandate. That could be true. I don't know. But the particular post I saw, I was like, I feel like this is a stretch. I don't like the guy. I'm not going to vote for him. I have plenty of criticisms about him. But I'm trying to be fair. That's all.